really high. They're not married. None of them.
Was there a resident that came in before your dad?
For instance, the other day, were these two ladies?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to open the December meeting of the Optimist Club here at Pee Wee's. Pee Wee's is always an excellent place to have a lunch or dinner. Fun place. In fact, I was here a couple of weeks ago, and Kim out there, she come in and said, "Does anybody know CPR?" I said, "Heck, I know the whole alphabet." Everybody laughed, except for one guy. Okay.
That's a good joke. That's a Denny joke.
I thought I'd brighten the moment here. Okay. I know almost all of you have been here before, but we typically always open with a prayer from John. We recite our Optimist Creed, which you see posted behind me, and the Pledge of Allegiance. John, would you be so kind?
Y'all would join me in saying our Lord's Prayer, and then the Creed, and then the pledge to the flag. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Red, yellow, brown, black, or white, we're all precious in Jesus' sight. Let us cite our creed.
Promise yourself
Be so strong that nothing disturb your peace of mind.
To talk health, happiness, prosperity to every person you meet. To make all your friends feel that there is something in them.
Make your optimism come true.
To think only of the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best. And to be just as enthusiastic as successful others as you are about your own.
To
To
forget
fall
the mistakes of the past,
and press on to the greater advancements of the future. To wear our cheerful countenance at all times, and every living creature you meet smile. To give so much time for improvement yourself that you have other time for others. Worry, too noble to hunger, too happy to forget pressure. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated.
You were moving fast today. You got gas in your tank today.
Have you been?
Yeah, you take a chair there.
No, we didn't, too.
Only because I made mistakes. That was fun.
There you go, sir. I didn't know you were-
All right, what were you two up
Welcome back.
I rang the bell at Kroger. I'm signed up for the 20.
That would be an excellent idea.
President,
Yes, sir.
so I know, because I've been standing kettle for the Army. When are we doing our Christmas dinner or party? Is it next Wednesday?
Yes, it is next Wednesday. And John, you have anything that you would like to say about the,
You know, we had our first day. We had a great turnout from the Optimist Club. Thank all the members here that have participated. And I still have like 2 or 3 shifts left for the 21st. Those are the late ones, like, of course, always 4 to 5 and 5 to 6 and 6 to 7.
4 to 5 and 5 to 6.
Or no, I might even have filled the 4.
Can
So
you
it's
give
5
me
to 6 and 6 to
Tell
7.
them out on that or
Yep.
text, and I'll try to,
Yep.
we'll try to.
Yep, so just two or three left, which is great. I never know how much we make until much later, so.
People were very generous. People were putting in $5 bills, $10 bills.
Yep.
I had a couple people putting in $20.
Yeah.
I
of people don't carry cash now, so it's,
Somebody said, I don't carry cash anymore. I said, come on, you can figure out how to get it.
well, and they've got the QR code. You can do the QR code and contribute that way, so there you go.
Wait a minute, back that up a minute, John. How do you do the QR code? Explain that.
So you take your phone and you open the camera,
Yeah.
and you'll point it at the QR code. and-
Where's the QR code? That's what I don't understand.
It's on the sign. It's on the sign, on the ring the bell for Mary sign in the lower left corner, I believe. And when you do that, then it'll pop up and you hit the little yellow dot, and that'll take you to the website to contribute.
Oh, good. Now, see, that'll match my excuse for not having any cash with me.
Yes.
Now I'll have to set up my phone at home.
Yes, yes.
Plus, I don't have my phone.
What's that in your pocket there?
Why don't you take the opportunity for everybody here to introduce themselves to our speaker today, Judy. So why don't we start off with Dan?
Can we talk about Judy for a little bit?
Is this a roast or toast?
I think this is a roast. We can do a little roasty toasty thing right now. I'm not gonna do a roasty toasty. I've known Judy for a long time. My brother introduced me to Judy many, many years ago, and I've kept up that friendship, so thank you, Judy, for all those years of knowing me.
Thank you.
I'm Mike Atwood, I'm a retired minister and standard at Kettles, when they, and, been coming
You're a
for
chaplain,
Yeah,
pastor.
been coming for a few years and enjoy the fellowship.
Jerry Mosher, I've been around a long time, even longer than you. I want to welcome you, and we're looking forward to hearing you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And if that ain't enough, we have another Jared Moser.
The other Jerry Mosher.
Lord.
The other white hair.
Yeah.
Coco.
Hi, I'm Coco James. I've been a member for about 3 years now, and I'm happy to be here.
And of course, we all know John Middleton. John, tell her what your name is.
Yay. Hey, I gave her a hug and commented on her UK blue because
Yeah.
she's a big UK fan, so, but yes. I was born into the Kentucky Post and missed the afternoon newspaper that used to run out and pick up the afternoon newspaper, and the newspaper even endorsed Dad a time or two, so that was always good.
We have good sense.
Mr. Harkey. Now that you have your mouth full, you're gonna come back to you.
Hard to tell when you're short.
I don't know, and the
What's your name?
body, Dad had me he started at 45, so he'd been working for him for a couple weeks, and then he said, "You ever thought about college?" And he just walked away, and I thought, "How does that mean?" I've never heard of college. Well, so my dad had barbers in the shop. He'd find something else.
What a heartwarming story.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ed Cooper, retired artillery officer in the Army. I don't know if you're old enough, but I'm also from Cooper, that was Cooper Furniture and Appliance down on 5th and Madison. So that's my family.
John.
John Stevenson. I've known Miss Clabes for my lifetime, and have always respected her a great deal, as well as Vance Trimble at the Kentucky Post, and David Brown, and Mark Nykirk, and a lot of other great reporters. But the greatest thing I'm thrilled her with what she does is that when the Kentucky Post died and went away, she started the Northern Kentucky Tribune, a newspaper that touches on all the different assets and different causes in Northern Kentucky. And it's extremely important for our whole area and our Commonwealth that we have that kind of input going, and not only to promote things, but to look at things that need to be changed or bettered. And so I'm thrilled to be here. Travels with Dr. John Stevenson. on my YouTube channel and Facebook page, and with 5,000 friends now, and a lot of folks on YouTube. But the main thing on YouTube, if you get a chance, I had one of my best shows ever, filming over 400 children, mostly children, the other day at the racetrack. Most all of them from Asia. And
Which one of the kids won?
which ones the kids what? Well, their parents work there at the racetrack. And Randy Wallace, minister at Oak Ridge Baptist Church, who many of you know, him and I sing every fourth Friday at the Fairhaven Rescue Mission for 30 years now. And we sang out there together with all of them. And I filmed the whole thing, including the ladies that lined them all up to come into the basket where Jesus and the babe was, and react the whole thing of life with all the children sitting out front. It was a wonderful experience in life, and I hope you get a chance to watch it. And Miss Clabes, she does beautiful work at covering a lot of humanitarian things that you don't make money off of, but that you do make friends and you educate people with. Sorry I took so long.
Connie, say ho.
My name is Connie, and I'm a retired English and theater teacher. I live in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Susan Cook, and I've known Judy for a very long time. Welcome.
Mary Lynn. Well, you didn't expand like that.
Come on.
Retired police officer and on the youth project radio here.
And Judy?
Yeah, so I'm running sort of goes in here. Judy Bell Smith, Adultery, is that your place? Judy's a dear friend of mine. When I run for office, she has printed my promotion and my opinion of why I should be chosen. And I was very pleased with that. And I've known her for I feel like a very long time, because I remember the Kentucky Post, we had a pharmacy, and we used to, with the Kentucky Post would come in and people would want us to save a paper and write their name on there. That's when I was 17 years old, well, 7th grade, maybe 13.
Well, while you're on your feet, Janine, would you be so gracious as to introduce our distinguished speaker for the day?
I gave you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Janine Bell Smith.
Instead of a founder. Sorry. Oh, one of my million mistakes just this year.
Go for it.
Thank you, my friend. By the way, good to see you again. I'm going to be ringing the bell on the 21st from about 1 to 2.
We're going out of town on the 21st, but I'll be ringing the day before that.
And I want to remind Dan, are you wearing your bell to ring?
I had my belts on.
You did?
Coco saw her.
Okay, so I want pictures of this.
Dan with his bells on.
So I'm fussing about these bells. Guess who forgot theirs?
You didn't have your bells on?
Another one of mine was my millions of snakes here. It was fun. I thought ringing the bell for Mary John was very humbling.
Very good.
But very gratifying.
Very.
I've never had done it before, but it's a gift. And I thank John for letting us be a part of it. Did you get to?
I did, Ken and I did that on Saturday.
Well, if anybody, I was gonna say, we need more people there. I'll try to bring some people in.
We had a good crowd.
Yeah, good.
I'm gonna start this down here with you, Dan. Pass it along.
Well, as you notice on the agenda, I actually gave Judy another, I call her a flounder, Kentucky's our founder.
Mistakes in the headlines all the time, they're easily corrected.
But of all people, thank you very much for accepting my mistake. I'm very upset about that. But we're basically a program that I've been a part of is civic engagement, bringing youth into the process. And the purpose of our Optimist Club is our bylaw is to develop optimism and philosophy of life.
Next time.
You have to talk into the microphone, you're closer there.
The tenets of the, you got me?
8 and 3/8 of an inch.
Can you have a tape measure for me, please?
Just 8 3/8.
About the length of this pencil, which is all good. So may I continue then? to develop optimism as a philosophy of life utilizing the tenets of the Optimist Creed. You see that posted on my agenda. And she wrote an active interest in good government and civic affairs, and Judy Clabes certainly is a figure to honor and respect because she has done active interest in good government, civic affairs, and the process. Judy Clabes, founder of Northern Kentucky Tribune, editor, publisher, philanthropist, founder of Kentucky Center for Public Service Journalism, which is a 501c3 and does take donations, which I have said several, not as much as I should. But I have really, what Judy has done with finding nothing but size to do this, so I just kind of, I know that. Beautiful lady here. It's kind of interesting. Judy grew up in Henderson, Kentucky. She's a graduate from the University of Kentucky with majors in English, journalism, and education. She got her MPA from Indiana State University and has 4 honorary doctorates, and one is from Thomas More, and the latest in the University of Kentucky. That was in 2010. She is a distinguished career in journalism and philanthropy. During 37 years with E.W. Scripps Company, she served as the Scripps first woman editor, beginning with the Sunday Courier and Press in Evansville, and then to the Kentucky Post. Thank you, Judy, for coming and tell us all about who you are and what you're really doing.
Okay, that's enough about the history. We all have a history here, and our history is service, as the Optimist Club exemplifies. Your mission statement could be the mission statement of the Northern Kentucky Tribune. I love the Optimist Club. And I think if everybody would live by these words every day, we'd have a much better country, it would be a better community, we would be much better people. So keep it up. Whatever you're doing, you're on the right track. And I hope the Northern Kentucky Tribune is on the right track too. After a long career in journalism, I became president of the Scripps Howard Foundation during the final of my 37 years with the company. And my job involved funding journalism programs around the country. I got to go around the country giving money away, somebody else's money. And if that isn't the best job on the face of the earth, I don't know what is. But to do good work too. And one of the things we did, just to highlight, is we built from the ground up a journalism school at an HBCU, that's historically Black College and University, because at the time, our industry was looking for diversity, which is a good thing, and we couldn't find qualified Black minority students to hire into our newsroom. So the foundation, under my leadership, did an extensive study about the best school to go to, and we found Hampton University, a private university in Hampton, Virginia, one of the top HBCUs in the country. Students from middle class Black families, and a history of bringing talented Black students onto the campus. We built a school from the ground up. It's a beautiful school. We just celebrated its 20th anniversary, and the first year there, every news organization in the country was recruiting students from that school. They now have more applicants for the school than they can possibly accommodate, so they get the cream of the crop. I'm very proud of that accomplishment for myself and for my company and for my industry. We still have work to do. The media is starting from scratch these days. And I think the Northern Kentucky Tribune is an example of how we are providing leadership for the rest of the nation in how local news can go on. We established the Tribune as a nonprofit because nobody's getting rich and nobody's buying $6,000 shower curtains with money, and we're there for the right purpose, doing the right thing, leading with our hearts, and not focusing on the money, because that's not really what it's about. And luckily, based on the reputation we had in the community, we were able to get corporate sponsorships from day one. And no one said to me when I met with them, how many clicks am I going to get? And how many viewers are you going to deliver? And what? They listened to what I said was our purpose, to provide a news platform for this community that could be trusted, that was run by professional journalists. We aren't bloggers. We publish the news every day in the most honest, straightforward way we can possibly do. Our sins are mostly of omission because we don't have enough people to cover everything. When I was editor of the Kentucky Post, I had 47 people in my newsroom. Wow. 47 people. And during the years that I was editor, nobody left unless we wanted them to. So we had this solid, some of you mentioned some names, people who have since gone on from that place to leadership places in the community at large, and were very, very connected to their place. And that's so important for every journalist to be connected to their place, to have roots, to put down roots, to go to church, to participate in community activities, to be part of the whole community. And that's what we supported. And we actually turned the Post around as well, because we became a respected member of the community, involved in everything. We were the go-to people. We didn't say no to many people, and we try not to say no today. That's what I tell my staff today. You can possibly say yes. Yes is the answer. Judy talks about the piece we published of hers in the paper, but we offered that to everyone. A free forum to state your case directly to people. And she took advantage of it. She was one of many who did, and I'm very proud of her for doing that. It shows that she was interested in connecting with the community. And Susan, you know what we do for schools. We'd like to do more. We have to count on partners, just like you have to count on partners in your work to broaden the effect you have and the impact you have on your community. You have to have engaged people. And you talk about your 100th anniversary. Wow, what a wonderful, I mean, that's fabulous, 100th anniversary. I would want to say that Tribune wants to be part of that and to help promote your story and to celebrate that with you, so please.
Will you be one of our co-hosts?
Well, that depends on what that means, and I think you have to know what the financial commitment of that is.
I don't think there's a financial.
Not that there can't be, but.
Well, there probably should be, but of course, we would be happy to co-host your event and to also be the media sponsor of your event.
Wow, that's great. That's awesome.
Please count on us. Count on us for your stories. We need input from people like you to make us more relevant and more sustainable. So my challenge, at our age, we have to think about succession and who's going to do this next. And I'm doing a lot of thinking about that and putting everything in place so that one of my family members is going to be able to take over and see that the Tribune was founded by my late husband and I, and our great friend Mike Farrell, who was managing editor at the Kentucky Post, and he became a head of the journalism school at UK, and became an expert in First Amendment issues. He started the First Amendment Center at UK, and he lived in the same neighborhood in Latonia where he grew up. Wow. Always, until the day he died.
Amen.
And he was such an asset to the Kentucky Post newsroom. When this freshman editor came in, first woman editor, and then, Scripps saw fit to plunk me down and flatly in the middle of male-driven northern Kentucky and say, go work your magic. And my magic was community involvement, reaching out to the community, being fair to everyone, listening, great skill, not always practiced today, but listening to everyone. And if we would just listen to each other again, listen to each other, we could solve our problems. But as long as we identify as this or that, or R's and D's, or, let's stop that. We aren't. We're people. We're good people. We should just elect good people to office, regardless of political party. Just good people. What more could we ask for? To elect honest, straightforward, good people who will do the right thing regardless. And there is a place in the whole continuum, and it's this center, this group around the center. That's where America has always been, and it's where we need to find our place. Because all of us gravitate around the center, not there, not over there, but around the center, and make our decisions based on that. Is that Pee-wee?
No. Come back over here, Pee-wee, when you're done now.
Come over here. I have a gift for you. If you don't mind if I interrupt, because I brought a gift for a post.
Yeah. Hold on just a minute. I think he's finish your thought.
You can hold him on. I'm good.
Yes.
Anyway, the Tribune is right in the middle. We don't take, as a non-profit, we don't endorse candidates, but we do offer a platform for candidates to make themselves known to voters. Could we do that better? Sure. Could we could do everything better. So I'm not claiming we do everything perfectly. I'm just saying we're on the right track. And we have led the country really in nonprofit organizations. And that's the sweet spot. Is people who care about their communities, tell young journalists, find the place you want to be, and just go there and get a job in journalism, or create your job in journalism, as we have done. Create your platform, serve your community, and you will be successful. Love your community, and it works. That's my message to you today. I hope we can have a conversation. I'm happy to ask you to say anything you want to say, and I'm a good listener. We're in this together. Mainly, that's my message. We're in this together, and no one person can do it alone. You have to have, again, the commitment and the will and the desire to help others.
Judy, you'll have to excuse my ignorance.
No, that's okay.
Because I'm from Ohio.
I didn't know you needed that solution.
I should know this, but I don't, because I'm from Ohio. Do you publish a hard copy, or is it strictly on the?
We don't. It's strictly online. And that's honestly say that has to be the future, because nobody can afford the big printing presses and the paper and the printing and the delivery system. Just think, newspapers invested millions in this system, and then we counted on 10-year-old boys to deliver the product. And you had to have this enormous network of circulation people and managers to make sure that got delivered every day. And you know what? It worked.
Yeah.
Until it didn't work. And you just can't get it delivered today. We tried a print edition, and I still have hopes that we could do a periodic print edition. Very expensive, because we insisted we were going to deliver it to every home, which we did, by zip code through the post office.
Hey, Pee-wee, you're right back. We want you back.
And the cost of that one edition, 165,000 copies, because there are 165,000 households in the area, was about $40,000.
Wow.
One edition, $40,000. And postage, printing was, not cheap, but it wasn't undoable. But the postage was what drives it. Getting the product delivered to the home. And that's why newspapers aren't working anymore, because of the cost of delivery. So, we have committed to doing online. It's free. We will have no paywall as long as I'm still standing. And I hope, as long as my son is still standing, we will have no paywall for the Northern Kentucky Tribune. We don't think people should have to pay to be participants in their democracy. It's just that simple. So we're open to everybody. We do free obituaries. You would be amazed at the number of people who say, well, I tried to get this obit in the Cincinnati Enquirer, and they wanted $800. Mom's obit. And I'm thinking,
No way.
okay, since when did death become a revenue stream? We think it's news, and we still publish as many obits as we can. They're more difficult to get these days because we've discovered that the funeral homes don't even publish them on their own site until a few days before the visitation. So they're not kind of news anymore. The funeral may be 2 weeks from when the death was. So we struggle with that, but we do run them free, and we try to we check all the funeral home sites every day to pick up new obituaries, and we do that free. It's a service. We offer a community calendar that's free to nonprofits. You can't post your for-profit thing in there because you're making money, and that's not what the calendar's about. It's about community events that are open to everyone. We have the best prep sports on the face of the earth. Terry Benker, Dan Weber. We have a really good sports team. Pee-wee, I have a gift for you.
Yeah.
Are you Mrs. Clabes?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, if I was any better, they'd call me Dan.
No,
I love that.
Pee-wee, because
Put
everybody.
you in your place, Dan.
Everybody loves you, and I wanted you to have this from us, all the people in this room and me.
Thank you.
It's the story that our history columnist did on Pee-wee.
Oh, my.
And you know, he gets inducted in the Hall of Fame this summer.
Oh, yeah?
Pee-wee,
So I'd never
Reeves,
met
owner of Pee-wee's,
And,
It's Judy Clabes, owner of Northern Kentucky Tribune.
Thank you, Jim.
Travels with Dr. John Stevenson.
Hold on a second.
Okay. You
Can
got
we get a picture of you? We want to put this on.
Sure, of course.
Is that my best side?
Pee-wee and my family, Pee-wee and my sons go way back, and I go way back to his mom.
Oh,
She's
wow.
a lovely lady, and she's still working.
81,
All right.
we're on 51.
This way. One more. Ready,
Sure.
set, go. All right.
Thank you. Hey, why does the reindeer wear bells? Because his horns don't work.
I think you and Danny ought to have a joke off.
I'm gonna just put it in a to-go box, and I'll take it with me. Is that okay?
Kathy?
I'm gonna leave this here so I don't ruin it, but don't steal it.
I'm invited to come to our
Please
meeting.
don't steal his.
Cassie, you wanna tell them you are, there you go, Dan, you know Cassie? Did you mark her name on your ballot?
Hi, Cassie.
Hi,
Hi, Cassie.
I'm Cassie Schaubel. I live in Lakeside Park, and I know Janine. I guess over the years we kind of float in the same circles, and I just was recently elected onto our city council. So I really,
She was the highest vote getter
I
on
was.
Lakeside Park City Council.
Awesome.
yeah.
And she's a newcomer. This is her first effort in public office, is that
Yes,
correct?
yes. I was the only new one that ran, so we haven't had many people step up to run for office, and that was one of the things that I learned just knocking doors in our city was a lot of people don't even know who our council members are or who the mayor is, and we live in a really small city, and I think that needs to change. We need to get people more involved and
Tell them how
inspire.
you involved your children.
Oh.
I was at the meeting where she was sworn in, and I was so taken aback what you actually involved her children. And they're very young.
Yes. So my daughter, my oldest is in 6th grade, and then my son is in 5th, and my youngest is in 3rd. And they come to meetings like this with me. I think they've been to one of the Optimist Club meetings before. So they like to be involved, but they did knock doors with me. My youngest especially, she knocked almost all the doors in Lakeside Park. And so it was cool to involve them. But
Fantastic.
Well, thank you
So-
for putting yourself out there. That's
Yep.
So I wasn't home, but they came to my house twice.
Oh, wow.
Most people don't knock on doors anymore. They came to my house twice. And the Schaubel name is a great name in Northern Kentucky. Are you part of the Schaubel family that is part of Kenton County?
Kenton County, yes.
So there was a Schaubel in my age group that was a very pretty young lady, and she was the heartthrob of all the guys. So,
Aunt Debbie.
that was Debbie Schaubel. Very good. That's Aunt Debbie.
Yep.
Tell Aunt Debbie that Dan Humphrey said hello.
I will.
Can we get you
I
to
will say,
join our
look out,
club?
Northern
Yes.
Kentucky, here comes 2 councilwomen. And Mary Ann Damon, we're coming to take back our city
We
and
would
our county.
appreciate
All right, back to our regularly scheduled
Well,
program.
A regularly
it
scheduled
works
program.
in just great. We need people involved, and this is a good example. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you talk about your first, you weren't the first online newspaper, but basically of your size and of your connection, sport, whatever? You're the first online newspaper. Have people copied you?
Yes, and we're published by the Kentucky Center for Public Service Journalism, and we offer to help anybody who wants to set up a local news site, and we've done that in Kentucky. There are a number of new sites cropping up. Just now in Henderson, because Henderson's paper has gone away, and in eastern Kentucky. So we're offering our expertise. We have a terrific network of connections based on my experience with the American Society of Newspaper Editors. I was the first woman who didn't own her newspaper to be elected to the board. As a Scripps representative. Back in the last century, by the way. So, lots of history has been made in the process, and lots of connections, and I've been able to parlay those connections into a network, and a really good network in Kentucky, where we have a partnership with the Kentucky Lantern, we have a partnership with Kentucky Today. They have some of the best people going, covering the legislature, and we have access to all of that, so that those personal connections and networks really do leverage a lot of services for northern Kentucky that you wouldn't have otherwise, because you all know that our challenge in northern Kentucky is to be the player in the state that this region should be, as Louisville and Frankfort are. The difference in Louisville and Lexington, the difference is they have unified government, and we don't have one voice. No official person can speak for all of northern Kentucky. That's a bit of a handicap, but we have adapted to it ourselves, and we need to make sure that the third leg of the Golden Triangle functions as it should. And you can't function as you should without a leading newspaper voice.
Do you have a relationship with TBNK?
Somewhat. We're looking at exploring that more because we think TBNK could use us. That's on our list for 25. And we have big ambitious plans for 25. We want to have a physical presence. Right now we're virtual. Everybody on our team works in their own home offices and we're connected virtually. But we are ready for a physical presence. And we want to be a place where we can train young journalists who are not getting the kind of training they should get anywhere else. Believe me, I've tried to hire some young journalists who think of themselves as bloggers.
Yeah.
Best journalism program I know, we funded in Florida years ago, and the director of the school said, nobody in this program can have a blog. And I thought that was exactly wrong. Because kids aren't expert enough to have a blog and to have something to say. It's like they regurgitate all over themselves, and who cares? Because they don't fact check, and they don't know how to ask questions, and they don't get up to speed on what the rules are or who the people are, and they do everything from behind their desk. I say we need shoe leather on the streets, right? That's where the action is. People actually out there walking the sidewalks and talking to sources, which is what we did at the Kentucky Post, and we need to recreate that in a bigger way at the Tribune. So funding is, I'm the fundraiser, and we're doing fine. We do great, but we have ambitions for next year that are going to outpace our pocketbook. So we have to do something about that. I have to raise more funds. Which brings me to, we are in the middle of our news match campaign right now, and we're trying to grow community ownership of this nonprofit newspaper, and I'm saying it belongs to the community as long as the community wants it. And that means funding. So we have been selected as one of the organizations that this national group of journalism funders pool this money and offer us a goal, and we have until December 31st to meet that goal, to get individual contributions to the Tribune, because it's, people go where the money is, right? You follow the money. So asking you to do whatever you can do, and urge your friends to do the same.
Are you a 501c3?
We are, absolutely.
Okay.
From the get-go. 501c3.
Philosophical question then.
Okay.
So there's a number of different reasons for the downfall of the print media and the media. Do you think that some of the media bias has something to do with that, or at least the apparent bias of some of the reporters and some of the folks that were reporting?
I think there are multiple reasons for it, and that's certainly one, the perception bias. But a recent Pew research study showed that the majority of Americans still believe that the press has a role in keeping politicians straight, holding them to account. And that the number of Americans who believe that hasn't changed in the last 20 years. There is a small group that believes, newspapers are either liberal or conservative, and you can see that in today's media, too, that people, news organizations stake out ground. And that's part of what's wrong with the political dialogue. I think we shouldn't do that. I think we should just listen to everybody. And, we may, at any given time, again, go one way or another on anything. Look at how conflicted Northern Kentucky was on the public funding of schools. You weren't conflicted at all about that. Overwhelmingly against all odds, Northern Kentucky did not go for public funding of private schools. That's well, it's not up for discussion.
Definitely not.
and I tried to be very down the road, middle of the road on that, and at one time I was even counting the number of columns we ran pro and the number we ran again, and it was even until the last few days, and then I got more vote against it pieces in the last few days. But leading up to like 3 days before the election, we were absolutely down the road. But I'm at the mercy of people who want to write and want to stand. A lot of people want to do anonymous things, and we don't allow that. We say, you want to take a stand or you want to criticize somebody, you don't get to be anonymous to do that. You're not anonymous. You're not anonymous. You aren't anonymous. You don't, people who want to be anonymous don't get to pick at you.
Right.
They have no credibility with us.
What is your email address?
Judy
At
nkytrib.com. Want to answer the question?
So at the very end of a discussion, we always tell the person, give us their web address and their email address and any other way that we can communicate with them. And if they're asking for money, how do we send them money? So can you answer all those questions?
Well, there is a thing on our news site, front and center, that says click here to donate, so you can do that, and it's supposedly perfectly safe, secure.
What's that website?
www.nkytribune.com.
Hold on, home. Here's the pen. Write it down.
But you should visit the news site every day. It changes every day. New news, right? New things to think about. New stories about this fundraiser or that fundraiser, or Mary Middleton's red kettles.
And how do we contribute to you?
You can contribute that way. You can write a check, and the address is on the news site, but it's 644 Braddock Court, Edgewood. I should have brought something to pass out, but I didn't have my fundraising hat on. John?
Yes, I just wanted to pay you a compliment on the hiring of Jack Bremer. And
Jack is a state treasurer.
he's to me and following him in government and politics all my life, he has been extremely honest and nonpartisan, but yet direct. And
he's a really good person.
He's a wonderful person, and I assume he's still working with you on.
He is. He's working with several other publications too, and so he's in big demand. But we love Jack, and yeah, he's still here.
Well, thank you for having him.
Yeah.
Good job. job.
Do you have any other questions? I think we only had 10 minutes for that.
Give business.
I don't, and she's in Italy.
Good job.
She's okay.
Yeah, I'm working on some new ones. I'll have it for next. Every month, every week.
Every week.
Thank you.
Good job.
I kinda wish you had that, because I got a lot of pictures about.
I'd like to make a presentation to you.
State representative.
Hold on a second, we want to take a picture of this. You mind if we put this on Facebook?
Do I have a choice?
She's in the news.
I wouldn't mind.
We do a celebrating autism and art project.
Camera goes crazy.
I gave.
All right, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
A simple lesson plan on putting
One more?
in an existing art project, art lesson. So
1,
it's
2,
not like
3.
additional. And we ended up getting $250, $300+
And our first choice, we just
I think
picked
I'd like to
Saturday.
have one, if you don't mind, Dan.
Except for the one like
It's very easy to do. I can film it.
We're doing that right now, or is that already passed?
We just finished it, and that was our test project.
It's not a real cause, I promise. It's a choking event.
International next
So we're hoping for the 26th.
Thank you, sir.
And then our second choice is 12. Third choice would be. I can do it.
I try to get all kinds of different.
1353.
It's still always there. What's your email?
Give me a smile, 1, 2, and 3. Two great ladies, two great educators, and newspaper people.
You're so good.
Yeah. Appreciate that, Dan. She's a sweetheart.
We need a.
Mayor Janine.
Mayor Chabal, you got a Chabal, I'm gonna call you Chabal.
Susan can get us in, like.
Yeah, we're gonna wait.
That's the better job.
Xavier, UC, or whatever it is.
It's a different.
I think all of them are. I think Joe's ready to. I think Chris is ready to give it up.
Anything.
Because Chris doesn't want to do another term. Or at least he's acting like.
I think at some point, as much as.
Yeah, your lunch is up there.
Yeah.
I know what that's like to be in it, and I had another one.
I had a three-term rule, you know,
Yeah,
three
like
terms, you
very.
move up and
Yes,
move on.
yes, yes.
And I moved on. It's time to give it up.
For all you do, thank you, sir.
Reel her in, man.
Yeah.
Cassie, say hello, Cassie, right behind you.
Hi, the Christmas tree. Guess it's Judy.
Oh,
I don't know.
Hey, Dan.
This is a tree. Look at that.
We're gonna need,
Ceilings.
we need something to put her food on.
Well, I make as much time as
Thank you for all you do.
I,
so.
texted you my picture.
I'll just,
2 and 3. Give us a little smile. I'm getting a little closer right now. That looks really good to me.
Next, well, after Christmas, is it before Christmas?
But I'm not in next week, just like I said. Exactly, that's
I thought you were this high tech
I am a high tech guy.
And walking on just called me and my medicine is there, so.
I know.
Connie, talk to you about
Yeah, just, it's never.
Today, I'm looking at this think about what's
With the
going
salad,
on.
with the vegetables.
Is it?
And then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cash flow.
It could have been.
What was it? Oh, yeah.
The police cars were there, the Fort Mitchell fire truck was there. There shouldn't be, because the mayor's made very.
Pretty good. Woke up today and I'm getting a little discoloring in my finger now as all that stuff starts moving around.
But you can move it.
Looked on Amazon. I
That's
was looking for one of those human bubbles.
And right now.
I'm gonna put him in one.
Fred, I think it's a good idea.
Oh, believe me, I'm
Write up something.
hit it and broke it. Because like when I did this one, I just put my arm up against the pole and kind of pushed it.
So you have horrible bones, I guess.
Well, they say it's the way our muscles and tendons and bones all come together. So that apparently our muscles and tendons are pulling harder on things like elbows and kneecaps. And
Ask him how many elbows and knees he's at. Well, not his family, just him.
this one about 3 times, this one once,
Knees?
2 each kneecap, although one of those was a poor family. My daughter's had 2, my son's had 2 or 3.
Well, that has to mean the genetics.
Yeah, there's a genetic connection.
Wow.
I've got a relative that is leery whenever he has to start like a full lawnmower or a 4-wheeler.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's the motion that can pop the tip off your elbow. Which is like, we don't fall and break our kneecap, we break our kneecap and then we fall gently. It's like my uncle jumped up to shoot the best. My first kneecap, I was playing adult soccer, I was like 35 or something. And I wasn't coming to a fast stop, I was just following the ball out of bounds, because once across the line, it was our throw-in.
Right.
One of my steps, it felt like somebody put a .22 rifle up to my ear and pulled the trigger.
Oh.
I was on this side on this end, and they heard it over here. And my dad, this is where it's funny, because my uncle and his daughters were the same. My dad and my cousins were similar. My son was working at Lowe's, and he was up on a ladder trying to get a door, and he kind of slipped and when his first point, he broke his kneecap. Luckily, he didn't fall off the platform.
Other stuff we can talk about too. I've done a lot of
Scary.
fundraising.
My daughter, one time in
And
high
also
school,
just a little bit of graphic.
she had a broken arm or wrist or something. And so her and this other girl for physical fitness class were told, just walk back and forth in the gym. Walk down to one end, turn around, walk back to the other. I had 5 of them. One of them stepping off the curb, one of them walking down her steps.
Well, why haven't they suggested things to prevent that? Like wearing something to
Like my
help
cousin,
stabilize it.
my cousin slipped and her foot went up into the air like that. She kind of went like that and fell. But when she went like that, I was going out of a restaurant trip and the last step was like twice as deep as the others. And I was going too fast. And when I just put my foot down and put my weight on it, blew that kneecap. Pulled my right leg up to try to balance myself, blew the patellar tendon in that one, and then I fell down and hurt my elbow. But that one's wired up pretty good. So.
Wow.
In fact, when I was at ortho,
They're going your back?
I was showing her
Which one do you
the
go
scrape. I go to the VA. But I was showing her the scrape on my left knee, and she started feeling around, and all of a sudden she's like, "What's that?" I said, "That's my wires." That's weird, because there's like a big knot.
There's some new.
Okay.
I wanna get
Yeah, they
their,
won't wanna do
Shall we?
anything
I
right
just wanna
now
collect-
for the holidays.
I just wanna collect their materials, lesson plans and stuff they did up. And just remind them we're here, really.
Sure.
And, think about next year.
See you later.
See ya. Happy holidays.
Same to you and God bless you.
We're looking at meeting next week for a beer?
We'll probably do like a 5 o'clock thing. He goes, man, I had so much trouble getting out of bed this morning. Gary, how do you even wake up in the morning? Then he hit the ground. No.
I would love that.
Uh,
All right.
Are you in the college football at all?
Not really. Well, catch him.
All in favor? Aye. Maybe?
So I actually, but I haven't seen it published anywhere, so I'm almost wondering.
Around the journalism program. I see there's your information.
So I'm not asking about it. I don't want to know how.
My age with all the pain I've had, it's just,
Another day.
pain's kind of like another body part at this point. You know.
Unless you know you're still alive.
I want to do something else. I wanted to journal.
Oh, I write now. Let's start with the citizens.
Like a citizen of the month.
Yeah.
Oh, that would make sense.
Oh, no, but it's funny about you, like, real estate, senior, junior, coming together.
Any positive?
But there'll be others, yeah. All right, well, I'm going to.
Yep, I gotta go get my girl.
Rest that, okay.
There's
Hey, Greg,
alone right
just a
now.
minute.
Sure.
Can I get your contact info?
Yep.
I'm a little bit handicapped for you.
Who do you have next week, Janine?
We're gonna have like a little Christmas to see if we'll ever master that.
I have done 0 Christmas shopping.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't
Next
really
week
have
is
a
their
whole lot
last
of
week
that
of
to
school,
do,
so I might sit
yeah.
that one out.
It's always.
I live in Burlington, I go to golf school.
Okay.
I'm trying to get some other projects for the fall. But it's better if you find projects that people are interested in. That's what I'm interested in, if you have any thoughts.
Are you coming to?
Did they come today?
Yeah, I was supposed to. There's Gary Lynn, my hand's cold.
Gary who?
Lynn,
Lynn? Yeah.
good campus. And Kentucky Neighborhood Village of Volleyball first.
All right, everybody. Thank you.
Good day.
Take care.
TBNK won't pay anybody unless that they are actually attached to.
I like that. I think this is a really
My
good
basement.
opportunity.